The hum of the hospital machines blended with the soft daylight pouring through tall windows as Aaron Wells pushed his cleaning cart down the diagnostic wing. He was exhausted, running on little sleep after caring for his 9-year-old daughter, Nyla, who had been struggling with asthma again. But that morning, something strange tugged at him, an uneasiness, a whisper in the air, before his life took a turn he never saw coming. It happened in seconds. One glance. One mistake no one else noticed, except him. And that mistake would decide whether a decorated military general lived or died. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of ordinary people doing extraordinary things, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Echoes of Kindness. Your support helps stories like this reach more hearts. Aaron wasn't a doctor or a technician. He was a janitor, a hard-working single father who had learned to notice details because missing small things at home sometimes meant Nyla couldn't breathe right. That habit, unknowingly, became the reason fate placed him exactly where it needed him most. He arrived outside the radiology room where a set of printed test images had been left on a counter. The morning sun caught the glossy sheets and reflected a glimmer that pulled his attention. Aaron paused only because one of the pages was slipping dangerously close to the edge, about to fall onto the floor. When he reached to tuck them back into place, his eyes fell over the name on the top corner, General Rowan Malik, a respected military figure known across the country for his humanitarian missions. Aaron had always admired him from afar. Strange that his scans were lying here unattended. Even stranger was something else, something subtle in the images. Aaron frowned. He didn't pretend to understand most medical details, but years of cleaning this wing meant he overheard more than people realized. He knew just enough to recognize what the contrast markers usually looked like. But one of these scans, one sheet mixed in the stack, didn't match the rest. It belonged to someone else entirely. Different ID number. Different timestamp. Different body region. It was almost identical in format, so easy to confuse, unless you truly paid attention. His chest tightened. If the scans were mixed, the wrong diagnosis could be made. And from what he overheard technicians mentioning earlier, General Malik was being examined for a possible blood clot near his heart. There was no room for error. Aaron stared at the door to the radiology control room. He knew what happened when janitors overstepped. He had been warned before. His job was always hanging by a thread. Raising Nyla alone meant he couldn't afford mistakes or accusations. But what if this wasn't a mistake? What if someone else was supposed to catch it and didn't? He stood there frozen, hearing his daughter's voice in his mind, "Dad, we help people. Even when it's hard." She always said that. She believed in him even when he didn't believe in himself. Taking a breath, he pushed the door open. Inside, Dr. Leora Chen, the chief radiologist, looked up with surprise. Aaron's hands shook, but he held the set of scans out carefully, explaining in a quiet, trembling voice what he noticed. Dr. Chen reached for the pages, ready to dismiss him until she saw the mismatched identification codes. Her expression shifted in an instant, the color draining from her face. She called for the technician. Alarms of urgency spread. Aaron stepped back, heart pounding as the room erupted with hurried analysis. The wrong files had indeed been included in General Malik's folder. The real scans, his actual results, were still on the digital system waiting for review. When Dr. Chen pulled them up, her jaw stiffened. The general had a rapidly developing arterial blockage. If not treated immediately, he risked collapsing within hours. Aaron stood speechless as they rushed into emergency mode. He watched through the glass as the medical team prepared an operation. Minutes turned into an eternity. His hands stayed clasped, his knuckles white. He wasn't family. He wasn't important enough to stand there. Yet he couldn't force himself to leave. Sunlight continued pouring through the windows, casting warm beams across the hallway as Aaron paced, replaying everything. Had he done the right thing? What if they blamed him for touching the scans? What if this cost him his job? But then Dr. Chen stepped out, relief washing across her features. She approached him, her voice steady but warm. "Aaron," she said softly, "you saved his life. We would not have caught the error in time without you. He blinked back sudden tears. He didn't even realize he needed those words. For so long, he felt invisible, just a man mopping floors, just a father trying hard not to fail. Within an hour, an aide approached him with a message. General Malik, still recovering from the procedure, had asked to meet him. Aaron entered the dim recovery room where daylight filtered softly across the bed. General Malik, pale but stable, looked at him with genuine gratitude. He whispered a few words, not dramatic, not theatrical, just real, sincere appreciation from one man to another. You noticed what others didn't. That takes heart. And courage. Aaron couldn't respond. His throat tightened. He nodded, not trusting his voice. Days passed and the story quietly spread through the hospital staff. Some called him the watchful janitor, others the guardian of details. But to Aaron, nothing mattered except going home to Nyla, who hugged him tight when she heard everything. She looked up at him with admiration that made his eyes sting. "Told you, Dad," she said. "You help people." 1 week later, the hospital administration surprised him with a commendation ceremony held under the bright midday sun in the courtyard. Staff gathered as General Malik, now recovering strongly, stepped forward to honor him personally. Aaron felt small beneath all the attention, but also something he rarely felt worthy. The general didn't give a grand speech. Instead, he spoke quietly, telling the crowd that life is often saved not only by doctors, but by everyday people who choose to care enough to act. He awarded Aaron a certificate of appreciation, but more importantly, he arranged for a full scholarship fund for Nyla and recommended Aaron for a better-paying position in hospital logistics. It felt like the world opening, finally, after years of closed doors.